Hey, I'm here with Gustav Nilsson from Tiger Shark Nilsson. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Very good, very good. Um, as a part of season 9, I'm trying to get more international bands involved with the interviews and the content. Um, Tell me what it's like in Stockholm, Sweden, for like surf bands and instrumental music.
It's a very small business in Sweden. Surf music isn't big. We had Robert Johnson and the Punch Drunks some years ago. That's about it, I think. There's probably smaller acts like me, but nothing big.
So, if that's the case, what drew you to surf music and to perform it?
Yeah, that's a good question. I've been listening to a lot of surf music. I listen to surf rock radio, the internet radio station, a lot. Uh, but I've always been into very much different music, uh, and surf music has grew. I started out as a teenager as a Jimi Hendrix fan. That
Oh,
was my number one. Um, and the guitar has always been. I wanted to write songs. That's what the guitar has been about for me.
mhm.
Uh, but also later on, I wanted to discover how can you play the fastest, the grooviest stuff. So it started with Hendrix, and then I got into Joe Satriani.
Ah,
He's a
yes,
bit of a shred guitarist, and his record "Surfing with the Alien,"
yes,
big major influence,
and flying.
I would say. Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh, but also, when I was a teenager, I saw Pulp Fiction, the movie, for the first time,
yes,
and that was, yeah, the surf music drew me in.
yeah,
There's Dick Dale, obviously, and the Ventures, and all of that, the great stuff.
yeah.
Um, so I started out there, but I'm a lot older now, so I first got into classical music. I studied classical guitar. I studied jazz guitar, both at college, and I played in pop bands, Americana. Uh, so, but surf music you can do very much on your own, and that's nice. I like to sit at home and I think, what should this guitar sound like, and what should that guitar sound like? Um, and it's liberating to be able to work on your own, but at the same time you can mail other people how should the drums be here. Uh, but it's very much my project, whereas the pop bands you need to involve other people.
Right.
So
So
it's been
you
great.
play all the instruments.
Yeah.
Excellent.
uh, yeah, I like that, and I've got one guy that's good at mixing and that stuff, so I send it to him and I say, can you make this sound better? and he and he fixes it.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
Speaking of songwriting, I have to say, um, when I heard Sunset, it blew my fucking mind. It
Yeah, thank you.
remind it was more of a 50s song than a 60s song, would you say?
Yeah, yeah, I
And
agree.
the minor the minor touches you put on it made the hairs on my arms stand up. Uh,
Nice.
Tell me a little bit about that song.
Yeah, it's a slower song than the two previous songs. And yeah, the inspiration comes from earlier stuff, like 50s stuff, definitely. Um, so I wanted to write a softer song in 6/8 tempo. So I had these ideas, to make a pretty song, something that's nice to listen to. So yeah, it came together quite quickly, I would say.
Excellent.
Yeah,
There's also it's very traditional. Other than there's a couple of shred parts in that song.
yeah.
So what influenced you to put those sort of classic instrumental rock and roll vibes together with that little shred piece in there?
Maybe it's Joe Satriani.
Yeah,
It's his fault, I would say, listening to him to put in those little touches of faster stuff,
yeah.
because he can do pretty stuff when he's not shredding all the time.
Excellent, excellent.
But also like Santo and Johnny, I've listened to, of course. Great, love him.
Sleepwalk.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right.
Uh, mm,
I got you.
yeah, you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, great.
So this year you put out 3 singles.
Yeah,
2024 you put out 3 singles. Um, where were you before those singles, and where are you going from now?
yeah. Started from zero. I didn't think anyone would listen, to be honest. And there's been a couple of hundreds on Spotify each month, and that's 95 more people than I expected to. So that's great. The surf community is it's really great.
Yeah,
I'm amazed uh, of the power of it. So I want to do an EP first, maybe, to collect these tracks and add another one, and hopefully next year put out a full length. That
oh,
would be yeah, that would be great. So I've got songs. I just need to work on them and record them, and yeah.
excellent. So, for Tiger Shark Nilsson, we're gonna put a link in the description to their Bandcamp page, and you can go there and sample the music. But I would suggest you sample it and then purchase it uh, to help Gustav record his EP. And then we get to hear some more great music. Gustav, thank you so much for coming on. It was
Thank you.
wonderful to meet you and to personally tell you how much I love the song Sunset.
Thank you very much. Thank you.